Good morning. First of all, I want to apologize for yesterday. I did a cute little video of about 5 seconds or 10 seconds coming out under the Calatrava suspended bridge at the periphery of Jerusalem. And I should have sent you that. It was only a few seconds, but it was very beautiful the way it was illuminated about a little after 6 in the morning. It was teeming rain. The whole trip here to Magdala from Jerusalem, a little over 2 hours drive. And despite that, we had a pretty okay trip here, thanks be to God. And then I was looking for opportunities to do a live stream. And every time the sun came out, I got my gear ready to go out to do the live stream, and then there was a downpour. And I thought, well, there'll be another one in half an hour, another opportunity or 20 minutes, and it never happened. Besides, I had a bunch of meetings. So it was quite a challenge. And it didn't happen, so I just put up that little picture post of the rainbow here in Magdala yesterday. The picture you got was not the double rainbow as announced. That was on the Instagram live of the rainbow that I did earlier. So that's the update. Another update is there's a new article linked here in the notes for our news letter, the journal article in Magdala. It also covers a little bit about our experience in DC in November in Washington, and also the wonderful events that happened in Nicea. And in fact, we had our own little experience like this in Jerusalem. That's why we were in Jerusalem on Monday night. There was a prayer together with the heads of, I think, 13 different churches. It was quite the experience. Coptics, Armenians, Greek Orthodox, Syrian Orthodox, Ethiopians. It was really amazing. There were so many different expressions, Chaldean, many different expressions of our faith. I'm just thinking I might go down here this road. We haven't been down here for a long time. We could also go up further and see more of the crops that are growing, but maybe I should do that, or let's go down this way now that I've turned in. Sometimes there's a torrent flowing through here under this bridge. But this way we'll get down faster and more directly to the sea area. Everything is pretty drenched. We had a fantastic day of rain yesterday, thanks be to God. Very badly needed. So it's wonderful when all the different expressions of our faith get to come together. We had prayer in the chapel at Notre Dame, and then a very nice spirited encounter with all these actually wonderful people. It's amazing the stories each one has, their life, their experiences, their outlooks on things, and also quite a few bearing the stories of their people that are suffering a lot also here in the context of the conflict that has been raging for So we're continuing the story of Samuel, which is a delight, really the making of a prophet. What goes into the making of a prophet? That's quite a thought, isn't it? And here's the young fellow and an old grandfatherly figure, almost great-grandfatherly figure, sitting on his chair at the temple. And Samuel is close to the altar. He is seeking that proximity with God. I was thinking, a thought crossed my mind this morning. I remember a comment in high school 50 years ago. We were studying Shakespeare. More than 50 years ago, 50, whatever. And there was, I think it was Octavius in the play of Julius Caesar by Shakespeare, where he's spending time in the temple and there's this awe before him because of his proximity to the gods, and that in the Roman pagan culture. But here we have this boy, Samuel, who has been dropped off by his mother at the temple. We're just getting snippets of the story, the highlights, major highlights. And you know, this woman who prayed to God and God listened, and that's the name of the boy. And now he's hearing God's voice. And what's wonderful is that the light is still flickering. There's very little light. Sometimes people have this impression in our own culture that there's so much darkness, so much violence, so much disrespect for human dignity, that there's very little light. But there's still a flicker. And God is so patient with humanity. And he's still working, and he's reaching in to us. And that's marvelous. How God continually reaches into us, into our lives, even into the heart of leaders in very complex political situations. God is reaching in, and he's sending his word. And so the little boy Samuel, the young man, he's not probably just a teenager, who knows exactly the age, and maybe it's mentioned. I didn't pick up that data. There's probably a tradition among the Jewish pious scholars about this. So he goes, he wakes up in the middle of the night. God speaks to him in his sleep, you know. The others are asleep out of drowsiness. There's quite a critique of the family of Eli, of his sons. They're carousing, they're asleep to God's voice. But this young fellow has his ear attentive, and he's listening. He's listening. But then he doesn't understand, he misunderstands. And there you have Eli, despite the tiredness, the aged resignation, he's able to give guidance. And he says, you need to go back after the third time, you know, you need to go back and listen and say to God, not only to listen, but he said, here I am. You know, I'm here I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for your will, Lord. Hey, we got a nice perch here to see this nice morning here. A different spot. We're just a little bit north of the site of Magdala. And then the gospel story is a little bit similar in a way, because we have a new awakening. Jesus is in Capernaum, and we actually can see Capernaum straight across from us here. I don't know if we'll be able to pick it up well. Yeah, there's Capernaum. You can see that white spot there. Right now in the middle of the screen, on the edge of the water. And so the demons are being driven out, and it's in a synagogue. But also in the temple in Shiloh where Eli is, there's a lot of corruption. And the evil spirits can show up wherever they roam. But God's grace reaches in, and stirs Samuel. And here in the synagogue there, the people are experiencing liberation, and the power of God has drawn near. In the place of darkness, the land of Zebulun and Naphtali, light has shone. The prophecy of Isaiah. So there's a lot for us there. The prayer is also marvelous of the psalm. I'm actually tempted now to pull it straight out before we finish. And there comes the sun for you in a much brighter light. Just give me a second here till I get my other little phone out for the text. So we can then sign off. Here am I, Lord, I come to do your will. Psalm 40. People, God bless you. See you later, alligators. Here we are, there's another waterworks here. No, oops, I'm turning around the wrong way. I thought I would turn around to show you the waterworks. There it is. And now we go back again to see a farewell to the sun as it comes out really strong at this moment. Leading quite a trail here on the water. People, God bless you. Here I am, Lord, I come to do your will. What a nice prayer for us today.